Now I'm having to break this video every once in a while. You'll see a little stop in the video because when I place this on YouTube, they only allow you to put a video of about 6 to 9 minutes or so. So I'm just kind of walking through this, trying to not to stay away from the water too much, just so y'all can see that, see how it's darkening. According to the manufacturers, and they gave us this handy color chart to go by from the different things that the orange that you see would be stuff coming out of the joints. That white cheesy stuff on the top would be, like I said, yeast. As this goes on, it's going to darken down, even turn kind of brown. You start seeing greens and blacks come out of it. Those are supposedly from the liver and the gallbladder and kidneys and what have you. And like I said, very, very compelling. No one wanted to believe this more than I did. I introduced it into my practice just last week. You talk about a money-making Bubba. This thing paid for itself the first day I had it. Every one of my clients fell out backwards about it. Who would not fall out backwards about it? My gosh. If I can continue my morbid disease-producing lifestyle and let this thing clean me up, I'll see you day after tomorrow. And I've set up many, many packages conveniently discounted for them to do that with. Only problem is most of my clients, rather than saying, man, thank you so much for this insight, I really need to clean my act up. I didn't realize I had that kind of stuff in me. That is embarrassing. Look at the, I'm breaking my story here. Look at the little black flecks. That's supposedly heavy metals. Do we all have heavy metals in us? Unquestionably. Is that it? No, in no certain, no shape, form, or fashion. Unless, of course, this, excuse me, unless, of course, this carrot was a truck driver and exposed to all those diesel fumes with lead and mercury and arsenic and aluminum and bad things like that. But anyway, my clients, rather than saying, I'm going to now clean my diet and lifestyle up so I don't retain these toxins in my system or produce these toxins in my system, the vast majority of them responded, well, one of my diabetic patients said, oh goody, I don't have to feel guilty about eating cake anymore. I can just do this. Well, is that the response we should get? One of my other clients, who was a smoker, she said with a wink, this is going to take the nicotine out of me so I can keep smoking, because I'm not quitting smoking. One of my beer drinking buddies had this done, and he says, man, yeah. He said, that looks just like the beer I drank last night. I'm going to come do this again to get that out of me. One of my running addicts, and I use that word purposely, who comes hobbling to see me on occasion, says, with this taking the toxins out of my muscles, I can actually up my mileage. And it's the up mileage that's giving him problems. And so, while this promises a grand and glorious thing for all people involved, like I said, who would not want to detoxify their body? Trouble is, there's just no magic panacea out there that will do that. Really, there's no magic panacea that will impart any health into our function. Health only comes from healthful living. Healthful living is basically a byproduct, if you will, of the choices that we make, daily choices that we make, and how we think, and what we breathe, and what we drink, and what we eat, and how we move and extend our body, how we subject ourselves to as much sunshine as possible. how we create a career, how we recreate or recreate ourselves, how we rest our emotional poise, how we commune with our Creator or our Maker or our Designer, whatever you will, call it God, how we give and how we forgive, and the things that we let go, the simplicities that we can build back into our life. Now, this is the stuff of our lives that we're trying to get rid of. Would that it really was happening, rather than just corrosion from the metal coming out and making a pretty neat story. This, in all likelihood, rather than being any kind of biological entity, is only probably mostly iron sulfate. That's what would be coming out of the metalliture at this point. Now, had that been, for instance, biological material, I took this out, well, it's been 10 days ago now. If this were, in fact, part of me that came out, it would be decomposing, because all biological material eventually decomposes. And this is exactly the same as it was when the day I took it out of that metal rather than out of my feet. It would stink. There would be, like I said, obvious decomposition going on. It would create where there would be bacteria growth, fungus set up on the top of the water, and all that. And like I said, that's just strictly basically a liquid rust that's coming out of the metal array. Again, no shape, form, or fashion is this actually toxins out of the human body.